Alright, coming in at number 8 here on the top 14 underrated holiday specials in movies is Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. This, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer the movie, was also released in 1999. This comprised of three main stories. The first story is a gift. I can't even think of the name, but basically the first story deals sort of is adapted from the story of the 25 Days of Christmas. Basically, that old story where a kid, who loves Christmas so much, wishes it would never end, and then gets their wish because they see a shooting star or the first star of the night, and they wish on it saying, "We wish Christmas was here every day," and they get the wish. Ish, until they finally realize it was a wish they shouldn't have made because as nice as Christmas is, it's also more. If you let's just say it's more than you can handle. Once a year is good. Overall that was a good start to the cassette. The second one deals with Max sending a letter to Santa and in hopes of getting a snowboard, a special snowboard for Christmas. Well, after being told by Pete that there is no such thing as Santa and he could just forget about getting the snowboard, or Goofy tries to encourage his son like, hey, trust trust him, he's alive. And then after helping a kind of like a poor family out a little bit, kind of have a nice Christmas, um, Max still has doubts because when Goofy shows up dressed as Santa, Max accidentally takes the beard off. And if there's one thing a child who believes in Santa shouldn't do, as we all know, is take the beard off of a fake Santa because that will make him not believe anymore. And so after Goofy tries to get Max to believe again, and then Max tries to get Goofy to believe again. Here comes Santa out of nowhere here, and they realize that he is real, and Max gets his wish, and he shares his gift with the neighbor next door for the poor family. And overall, it's a very very good second cartoon in the film. Very good. And yes, the designs and if not the storyline and atmosphere is sort of based off Goof Troop. So, and then of course we have the final one, which is the Gift of Magi story adaptation, which stars Mickey and Minnie. Basically, both are kind of like working jobs and everything, and both want to make enough money, if you will, to get each other a nice gift. Well, what happens is Mickey, who's working for Pete's Christmas tree lot, gets fired after he sort of, I guess, outsells or convinces a family to buy a regular sized tree that he still has. As after hearing Pete lying to this family that barely has any money to buy a tree, after he tries to, well, basically, if you've seen the film, you get what I'm saying. Mickey basically saves this family from being ripped off into buying a 10-foot tree, and for his troubles, he gets fired, and he still has to find a way to get Minnie a nice gift. And the gift he wants to get her is a necklace to go with the gold watch that she had passed through her family. And Minnie, of course, is hoping, because she's working at a department store, is hoping she gets a Christmas bonus from her boss. But instead of getting the bonus, even after all the hard work she's done, she gets a fruitcake. So in the end, what happens is both go to this pawn shop, I guess it's the same pawn shop, and sell the most prized possessions. In other words, Mickey sells his harmonica, Minnie sells her watch, in order to get each other the gifts that they feel both would like. But find out that, hey, The only gift they truly needed was each other. Overall, that story, along with all the other stories, overall the film is good. It's very good. It's out on DVD, as you can probably see in the corner there. And I suggest if you've not seen it yet, see it. And after you see this, I suggest you try the sequel. That's just as good, but that one's in CGI. And that's called Thrice Upon a Christmas. But overall, this one is very good, and that's why it's number 8 on the top 14 underrated Christmas specials and movies. Arriving in at number 7 on the top 14 underrated holiday specials and movies is The Christmas Raccoons. Now, The Christmas Raccoons was released on television in 1980 by Kevin Gills, and it was actually sort of the starting point to the whole Raccoons franchise. Basically, we are introduced to the characters. Of course, Bert, as you see in the middle, Melissa, I guess you could say on the left, and Bert and Ralph on the right, or depending on whatever direction, left, right, whatever. And we're also introduced to the other characters like Cedric Sneer and his father Cyril Sneer, and of course Schaefer. And we're also introduced to the human kids as well, human characters. Basically, the plot point about this is the raccoons end up losing their home after Cedric cuts it, not Cedric, but Cyril cuts it down with a chainsaw, and it rolls downhill to where the kids find it. And the kids, along with Schaefer, take it back to the house to decorate for Christmas. Um, and overall, what happens is that the raccoons, after they encounter Schaefer for the first time, explain what's happened, and Schaefer, agrees to help them in stopping Cyril and Cedric from cutting any more trees down. And but then, Schaefer ends up going back in the house, and the raccoons are left out in the cold, without any, without the home. And the kids, you know, on and the kids, and Schaefer shows the kids exactly what's going on, and they inform the father, who's a park ranger, and the father agrees to get them a new home. And what we find out is that this whole scenario, this whole thing, this whole adventure, in a way, was sort of like a dream, or was it? Because after they wake up from the dream, they find out that the trees mysteriously stopped being cut down, and that the raccoons they saw in the dreams are actually real, and they go up into the new home, which is a new tree, which they call the Raccoonumenium. Overall, it's a very decent holiday special, and if you're a Raccoons fan, a good introduction to the raccoons themselves. I definitely suggest, if you've not seen it yet, to see it. You could find it on on some raccoon fan sites, I believe, and I think you can even find it on certain video sites. Um, and yeah, it's very good. Definitely worth a watch, and that's why it's number 7 on the top 14 underrated Christmas. I mean, not Christmas, but holiday specials and movies. Christmas Raccoon.